大家好，我叫 Andy. Bonjour tout le monde. Dans cette vidéo, j'essaie de parler en français et chinois, peut-être en anglais un peu plus tard, à cause de peut-être c'était difficile pour moi exprimer quelque chose en français ou bien en chinois. Alors, 我昨天买了我的票pour la conference, Polyglot Conference. 我运气好，我很高兴。我运气好，因为这个星期我不工作。à cause de cette semaine, je suis en vacances. Normalement, je travaille dans un magasin. 我工作在商店，可是现在我的商店还没有准备好。Alors, mon magasin a fermé il y a 7 mois à cause de la pandémie. Et pendant il a fermé, le voisin en hôte a laissé le robinet et l'eau this bit I might have to say in English. The neighbour upstairs left the tap on and the water came down and damaged the shop. Alors, nous devrions faire un nouveau plafond et plancher. 我的同事下个星期回来，可是六的同事，一般我要25同事，所以50同事下个星期。Et après ça, je ne sais pas, probablement les personnes viennent un autre 5 et alors un autre 5 la prochaine semaine. Okay, I want to talk about the Polyglot Conference. I bought my ticket yesterday and I'm quite excited because I'm on holiday this week. And I didn't know I was going to be on holiday until last week because I suddenly became aware that my shop was going to be ready for me. So, hooray, I go back next week. So, the Polyglot Conference this year is different because it's online. It's all online. So there's no traveling anywhere. It was supposed to be in Mexico, so I was looking forward to going to Mexico. But, of course, we don't have to fly now. So, I was going to say that in Chinese, but don't worry. I'll do a Chinese video later. Here I am on the Polyglot Conference website, and you can access the registration here. So at the top here, you see register. All the different things you need to know about the conference are on this site. And once you register, you'll have access to the forum, which is where people talk about themselves. You can meet other candidates, other people in the conference. You can see which talks are happening and all the different live events. So the Polyglot Conference is organised by Richard Simcott. Here he is down here. And this year, I think he has a lot more help. Every year he's helped by different people. So Anya Spilka is co-organising it with him this year because I think she was involved in Cholula, which is where it was supposed to be this year in Mexico. Obviously it's all online now, so I think that because it's online that there'll be a lot more participants in this conference this year because it's accessible to a lot more people. And having to travel to a destination that doesn't suit everybody is limiting. So it'll be interesting to see the numbers of people. I went to the conference 4 years ago in 2016, and we had 400 and something people there. And then I went 2 years ago to Ljubljana, and we had 600 and something people there, I believe. So obviously it's growing each year, and more people are becoming aware of polyglots and the subject of polyglotry. So on that note, I'd like to say that what makes you be a polyglot? The first thing is, how many languages do I have to be able to speak to participate in the Polyglot Conference? There's no requirement, there's no test to go into the conference. You just join up, and as long as you're passionate about languages, that's all you need, really. So you could be a younger person who hasn't had the opportunity to study a lot of languages, but you know you're going to be doing that because that's your passion. So you could be one of those kind of people. Or you could be a dabbler like me. I'm just someone who dabbles in languages, but I'm interested in the learning language process and anything to do with language learning. So that's me. So who attends the Polyglot Conferences? Well, anybody who's interested in languages. You get people there who are linguists or teachers, language bloggers. It tells you here all the different people, but it's just basically anyone who's interested in languages. So what do you get out of attending the conference? Well, you can pick up tips and ideas from the talks you go to. You meet other people, so it's networking. For me, that's a big part of it, because I've met quite a few friends from the conference who I've stayed in touch with after 4 years of going to the first conference I went to, and some from a couple of years ago as well. And it's also a way of kind of focusing just on language learning ideas, techniques, subjects for a whole weekend, so you can focus on those things and sort of get some flavours and ideas, maybe get inspired by something. It's been going this is the 8th year, I think. So it started off in Budapest, Novi Sad, New York. Thessaloniki was the 4th one, that's the one I went to. And so another 4 years on, we're in the global one. There are language courses as well. So when I went to a previous conference in Ljubljana, there were language courses on Slovene. So every morning you could go to a little workshop and have a bit of tutoring from a native speaker of Slovene, which was really good. This year we are working with Zaloa Languages and Universala Esperanto Asocio to bring you courses in Nahuatl, Spanish and Esperanto for the During Polyglot Conference Global. Always a bit of a typo there, isn't there? For the During Polyglot Conference Global, I have to tell Richard about that. These will be intensive courses and will offer different levels depending on your ability. So I won't be going for Esperanto because I don't like Esperanto. Nahuatl sounds really good because Central American language. So that's the frequently asked questions. So here are the speakers for the conference, and there are lots of them this year. So compared to previous years, it's just growing and growing. And because this is an online event this year, you don't have to miss out on anything that you're interested in. Whereas at the actual events before, there would be 3 channels, so you would have to choose between 3 talks, and sometimes it was quite difficult. If you were interested in going to both of them, you'd have to really sort of toss a coin, or maybe go to one and like a friend would go to another one, and you can watch them afterwards because they're always posted on YouTube. But the beauty of this is you'll be able to see them afterwards on this site until the 25th of October. So here's a picture of the Polyglot Conference in Thessaloniki. That was 2016. I'm in this picture somewhere, I don't know where, probably up the back, I would imagine. That was a great conference, I really enjoyed that. So as you can see, there were about 450 people there, I think. This was the Reykjavik one in Iceland. I didn't go to that one. This was the one in Ljubljana. So as you can see already, there were more people here. Over here somewhere, I think. And that's about 650 people. And there's not a photo of the one in Fukuoka in Japan, apart from this here. So please come to the conference. I think you'll enjoy it, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg this year. It will be a great event. I think there'll be many more people, and I hope to see you there. Take care, stay safe. 再见。